welcome to Undoomed and all that. Okay, so today we're going to listen to a communist munchkin. Can you believe that there are still communists out there?
Comrades, there's a growing movement to smear all Muslims.
Alright, let me just stop you right there. What's with the comrade shit? Anyway, you're right. There is a growing movement to smear communists, Muslims. And they're called, wait for it, Muslims.
As supporters of Islamic extremism and groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
And what do you think that is, huh?
Simply because they share the same religion.
What do you mean? You mean I can't have an opinion because that means I have an opinion about all Muslims or something? We're all adults here. We can criticize something without that meaning we are criticizing every single one of them. I know Muslims that are completely normal. But come on. Have you looked at the map lately? Where are the wars, the whippings, the jihad, and the dictatorships? It sure seems to me like there might be something in that part of the world that influences people. What do you think?
But the basis of these arguments is incredibly flawed and has obvious ulterior motives. People like Bill Maher, Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, and a few other prominent figures are considered to be the main faces of this new brand of secular fundamentalism called New Atheism.
Secular fundamentalism. Really? Have there been a lot of atheist suicide bombers in your town lately? Atheist beheadings? Anything? Or are you just trying to use the word fundamentalism to try to poison the well? I think you are. Yes, you are.
It's important not to confuse them with regular atheists, who simply believe there's no God and have no political motive in that belief.
I can't believe I have to explain this every goddamn time. Atheism is not a belief that there is no God. It is a lack of belief in God. And I certainly don't think you're the one who should be talking about political agendas right now. And just for the record, I don't even believe in the word New Atheism. I think it's a word that social justice warriors made up to rag on Christopher Hitchens. There is just atheism.
C.J. Werleman describes New Atheism as a post-9/11 reactionary anti-religious movement that proactively seeks to eradicate religion wherever and whenever it can find it. His assessments are very much in line with their statements.
Well, I suppose you could quote C.J. Werleman if you wanted to be an idiot. I mean, the guy has been caught plagiarizing, like a dozen times? I mean, yeah, he knows how to quote, but he's not that good with actually saying when he's quoting.
A few months ago, Richard Dawkins sent out a tweet saying no, all religions are not equally violent. Some have never been violent, some gave it up centuries ago. One religion conspicuously didn't.
Conspicuously? That's not a word, dude, and that's not what the text said.
Can you guess which one he's referring to? You guessed it. It's Islam.
No, you don't say.
Unfortunately for him, he's wrong.
It's always good when a 17-year-old tells you, you're just plain wrong, that's the way it is.
Yes, there are extremists who claim to act in the name of Islam, but there are also progressive Muslims in places like Turkey, Indonesia, and obviously in the West.
Turkey and Indonesia? That's what you got? Maybe before you read all those social justice books, you should read some fucking history.
But there are Buddhist extremists in Myanmar and other parts of Southeast Asia, which can be contrasted with Tibetan Buddhists like the Dalai Lama, who preach peace and love even in the face of violence.
So what the fuck are you saying? We should accept Buddhist extremists just because they're a good Buddhists? Come on. We can certainly criticize Buddhist extremism. And if there is a reason to suspect that Buddhism creates extremism, then we can certainly criticize Buddhism as a whole.
There are Christian extremists in Africa, but there are also progressive Christians in Western Europe who help the poor and campaign for equal rights for minorities.
Yeah, so? Does that somehow excuse the extremists? Does that mean we can't criticize them?
How is their interpretation so wrong? Part of it is a conscious ignorance, especially when it comes to the existence of extremism in other religions.
We're all aware of this, and we're sick and tired of it. That's why we're atheists, for fuck's sake.
But another part of it is a flawed understanding of how people use religion.
Well, I'm so glad you're here to tell us, Professor, the greatest authority on everything.
Reza Aslan, a religious scholar, says new atheists believe the followers of religions see religious texts more as how-to guides, to be taken fully and literally, essentially taking their values from their religion.
Yeah. Of course, if you want to learn about atheism, you should certainly ask a religious scholar. You have just entered into an undiscovered country of stupid.
However, he says in the real world, people bring their values to their religions and find their own meaning in the texts, essentially picking and choosing which passages support their views.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what Islam is known for, picking and choosing. You know that Muhammad guy? No, I don't believe in that guy, but you know the other stuff? Sure, I believe in that.
He uses the example of abolitionists and slave owners in the United States who use the exact same Bible to support their differing views, often even the exact same passages.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, and you're gonna use this as an argument for religion? We all know you can use religion to justify just about everything. There is no morality in religion.
When faced with the question of how most religious people don't take their text literally, new atheists simply brush it off as those people not being true believers in the religion.
No, you fucking idiot. We all know that they cherry pick. Otherwise, we couldn't wear different types of clothing or work on Sundays. Otherwise, we'd have to stone them, which coincidentally they actually do in certain countries. Can you guess where?
This inability to look past their worldview to the reality is what leads to the promotion of violence by new atheists.
The promotion of violence by atheists? Are you fucking kidding me? How many degrees in retardation do you have to earn to be as stupid as you are? Where are the atheist suicide bombings? Where are the atheist wars? Where has there ever been such a thing? There hasn't, okay? At what point has there ever been a murder attributed to atheism?
Which are often in line with what many neoconservatives and Christian fundamentalists also support.
I'm starting to lose my patience with you. Atheism is in league with conservatism and Christianity? For fuck's sake.
It's odd because new atheists claim to be liberals, despite having so much in common with the right wing.
Atheism is not a political movement. You can certainly be an atheist and a conservative at the same time. Maybe it's not that common, but atheism certainly doesn't determine your political views.
And are now essentially accepted to be secular fundamentalists.
Essentially accepted? By whom? Just because you put out a YouTube video, it doesn't make it so. And listen, you fucking retard, give it a rest with the secular fundamentalists. You cannot be more atheist than atheist.
Christopher Hitchens was a well-known supporter of the Iraq War and believed the country would be a beacon of stability in the region because of the American invasion. But clearly he was wrong.
So if an atheist ever said anything that was ever wrong, they're all wrong? Didn't we go through this in the beginning of the video? I mean, you gotta make up your mind. Either we can use this argument or we can't.
Sam Harris has supported the profiling of Muslims and argued torture may be an ethical necessity in our war on terror.
It may surprise you to know that there are actually no official speakers for atheism. Not even Sam Harris.
New atheists push Islamophobia because of a misunderstanding of and hate for religion.
Will you lay off the new atheist shit? Who came up with the term Islamophobia anyway? That is a retarded statement. Phobia means an irrational fear. Sure, back in the day of Greece, it meant fear, plain and simple, but nowadays it means an irrational fear. You know, there are irrational fears like anthropophobia or agoraphobia, but being scared of people wanting to bomb your ass is not irrational.
They don't believe in a god.
And this is somehow news to you? And I'm curious as to how you say they, so I guess that means you're a believer?
And believe that by eradicating religion, the world would be a better place.
Believe, believe, believe. Anyway, is there any reason at all to not believe it would be a better place?
However, they seem to be completely unconcerned that the methods their rhetoric supports to attack religion are violent and oppressive in themselves.
Okay, are we now just going to arbitrarily redefine words? Sure, we can redefine violence to mean harsh language, but that would be dishonorable to those who actually experience violence.
Namely, unending wars, where the most poor and disadvantaged are collateral damage.
Yeah, those fucking atheist warmongers.
And far-reaching government surveillance that threatens the freedoms we generally associate with Western democracy.
Hey, moron! Fucking moron! I can't believe I have to fucking explain this to you. If there is anything atheists hate, it would be censorship and surveillance.
Comrades, we need to actively fight the false narrative of new atheists toward religion, and more specifically Muslims.
Comrades, yeah, because nothing says anti-violence like communism. Is there possibly any other ideology that has killed more people? I mean, sure, you have got the Islamists beaten. Good on you.
Because as I said in the last video,
yeah, no one saw that.
We have common problems we can more effectively face together, and we can add new atheism to that list.
Well, you can add us to your list, but we won't come to you, you fucking communist. And in case you didn't know, communism is way worse than Islamic fundamentalism. Just Google it, I dare you. Check the death toll.
If you agree that new atheists are wrong and need their ideas challenged, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more.
I hope to God there aren't more people like you out there. And I'm an atheist, so that should mean something to you.
Like after 9/11, they're trying to use this renewed fear of Muslims to justify new wars, more government surveillance, and what amounts to us losing more of our freedoms and liberties.
Oh my God, you're like a truther, aren't you? What about those buildings just falling down without anyone actually flying into them? Hello? 9/11 really was a conspiracy. Yeah.